The UK property scene is always on the move. Finding the right place to live, especially in our bustling cities, can be a real challenge these days. We've seen housing costs climb, and the demand for good quality homes often outstrips supply, making the search quite daunting for many. People are increasingly looking for smart, practical and affordable housing solutions. This means the way we traditionally think about our homes is starting to change quite significantly. New ideas and different types of living arrangements are becoming more common. We're observing a clear shift towards more flexible and often community-focused ways of living. This period of adjustment is actually fostering considerable innovation in the housing sector, which is truly exciting. So, what exactly is an HMO, you might ask? Let's be honest. Houses in multiple occupation haven't always had the best image. In the past, they were often seen as basic and poorly managed. Concerns about overcrowding and poor conditions overshadowed their benefits. This perception meant their true value wasn't fully appreciated. However, things have changed significantly. We've seen a resurgence in the popularity and quality of HMOs. Several factors have driven this positive shift. The high cost of buying or renting a property is a major influence. People are seeking more affordable ways to live, especially in city centres. There's also a growing desire for flexible living arrangements. The modern HMO sector has shown incredible resilience. It has weathered economic challenges with strength. Even during the global pandemic, demand for well-managed HMOs held strong. This resilience highlights the sector's importance. HMOs offer practical and affordable housing solutions. They are now a popular choice for many people. The HMO sector is evolving rapidly to meet contemporary demands. Today's HMOs are a far cry from outdated, negative images of the past. There's a push towards higher standards and better living experiences. This evolution is driven by tenants' changing expectations and a more professional approach by landlords. Demand for good quality HMO accommodation is on the rise. Affordability remains a significant driver, especially with the rising cost of living. Young professionals, recent graduates and key workers are looking for sensible housing options. HMOs provide a practical and appealing solution. They allow individuals to manage their monthly outgoings effectively. With increasing demand, there's a need for high-quality, professionally managed properties. Tenants today have higher expectations for their living conditions. They seek homes that are affordable, clean, safe, and equipped with modern amenities. Landlords need to invest in their properties and provide excellent customer service. Modern HMOs cater to the needs of today's professional tenants. This demographic values convenience, community, and quality. They want a comfortable private space and well-designed communal areas. The evolution is towards creating supportive and pleasant living environments. High-quality, professionally managed HMOs will continue to play a vital role. The sector is set to grow and meet the needs of modern tenants. It's fascinating to see who is choosing to live in HMOs these days. The demographic has shifted remarkably. A significant portion of tenants, around 60%, are working professionals. These are not just individuals at the start of their careers. Many seasoned employees are also making this housing choice. They are skilled individuals contributing to various sectors of the economy. This broad appeal shows how HMOs have evolved. Professionals from finance, technology, healthcare, creative industries, education and engineering are common residents. They might be recent graduates or experienced professionals relocating for work. The common thread is the need for convenient, well-located and manageable accommodation. Their varied backgrounds enrich the community feel within these shared homes. The reasons for choosing HMO living are practical. For many, it's an intelligent way to manage finances in expensive cities. It allows them to live in desirable areas without the financial burden of renting an entire flat. This financial prudence enables them to save money or enjoy more disposable income. It's a lifestyle choice that offers practicality and community. The decision to live in an HMO is often about more than just cost. For individuals moving to a new city, it provides an instant social network. The shared nature of these properties combats isolation. It offers a balance of private space and opportunities for connection. This community aspect is a significant draw for many professionals. HMOs offer a supportive environment for those settling into a new place. They provide a sense of community and shared experiences. This connected lifestyle is increasingly appealing. HMOs are a popular choice for many working professionals. Affordability, a sensible choice in today's economy. One of the primary reasons working professionals are drawn to HMOs is affordability. The cost of buying a home in the UK, especially in major employment hubs, is a significant challenge. The expense of traditional private renting has also increased. Long rental queues for desirable properties are now common. People are seeking viable alternatives to live comfortably without high housing costs. HMOs fill this crucial gap in the market. HMOs typically offer rooms at a fixed rent, often including household bills. This makes budgeting simpler and more predictable for tenants. They know their core housing outgoings each month, which is a huge relief. This contrasts with traditional tenancies where bill management can be complex. The cost savings can be substantial compared to renting a one-bedroom flat. In many cities, the monthly outlay for an HMO room is lower than a traditional lease. This difference allows professionals to free up a portion of their income. This financial breathing space can be used for other goals. The demand for affordable options is reflected in rental trends. In major urban centres, rents for HMO rooms have increased annually. This rise highlights the strong demand for this type of accommodation. Professionals recognise the excellent value that well-managed HMOs offer. This trend underscores their importance in the housing market. HMOs provide a practical and affordable housing solution. They are a popular choice for many people. Flexibility first, adapting to professional lifestyles. Beyond financial benefits, the flexibility of HMOs is a massive draw for professionals. Modern careers are dynamic, people change jobs frequently or relocate for projects. Traditional long-term leases don't align with this fluid way of working and living. HMOs offer shorter-term lease options, sometimes as little as 3 or 6 months. This provides tenants with a level of freedom hard to find in the mainstream rental market. If a new job opportunity arises, they are not tied into a lengthy rental agreement. This ability to move with ease is incredibly valuable. It allows professionals to be agile in their career choices and personal decisions. The option to downsize living arrangements for manageable overheads is another key aspect. Moving into an HMO can reduce fixed monthly costs without a drastic drop in living standards. This financial agility is important in today's economic climate. It empowers individuals to take control of their spending. This flexibility extends to the ease of moving in and out. HMO rooms are typically furnished, removing the hassle of buying and transporting furniture. Shared amenities are already in place and maintained by the landlord. This plug-and-play style of living is convenient for those who move frequently. It removes logistical headaches associated with setting up a new home. Tenants can settle in quickly and focus on their work and social lives. HMOs offer a flexible and practical housing solution for professionals. Quality and convenience. Meeting high expectations. Today's professional tenants have high expectations for their accommodation. They seek a comfortable, well-maintained and pleasant living environment. Modern HMOs are designed to cater to these expectations. Landlords understand they need to offer more than just a room. This means investing in good quality furnishings and maintaining properties to a high standard. Essential amenities like reliable high-speed Wi-Fi are a necessity. Well-equipped kitchens and clean modern bathrooms are also important. Appealing communal spaces play a significant role. Many professionals appreciate access to comfortable shared lounges. Some higher-end HMOs offer additional facilities like co-working areas or small gyms. These features enhance the living experience and create a sense of community. The growth in licensed HMOs reflects alignment with tenant needs and regulatory standards. In 2023, the UK government estimated over 750,000 licensed HMOs. This figure is projected to grow, indicating continued expansion. Licensing ensures properties meet safety and quality standards. This provides tenants with greater peace of mind. HMOs are increasingly seen as a preferred housing choice for professionals. They offer quality, convenience, and a sense of community. The arrival of the global pandemic in early 2020 brought with it an unprecedented focus on personal health, hygiene, and the concept of social distancing, which understandably cast an immediate shadow of concern over shared living environments. Houses in multiple occupation by their very nature involve residents sharing key facilities, such as kitchens, bathrooms, and communal living areas. Consequently, many market commentators and housing analysts initially voiced strong fears that the appeal of HMOs would plummet. The prevailing thought was that prospective tenants would instinctively shy away from any form of co-living arrangement, prioritizing instead self-contained accommodation to minimize perceived health risks and maintain strict personal bubbles. This period was marked by considerable uncertainty for HMO landlords and operators who braced themselves for a potential downturn. However, contrary to those early, rather pessimistic forecasts, the HMO sector demonstrated a surprising and quite remarkable degree of robust resilience throughout the various stages of the pandemic. While the desire for personal safety and well-being was of course absolutely paramount for everyone, the fundamental underlying needs for affordable and conveniently located housing did not simply evaporate. This was particularly true for many key workers who needed to remain close to their places of employment in urban centres, and for young professionals navigating the early stages of their careers. Furthermore, for a not insignificant number of people, the enforced isolation experienced during national and local lockdowns actually served to highlight the potential benefits of well-managed communal living, fostering a renewed desire for social connection rather than complete solitude. Several crucial underlying factors effectively underpinned this unexpected market strength and resilience. The persistent and widely acknowledged affordability crisis within the UK housing market meant that for a large cohort of individuals, particularly those on modest incomes or at the beginning of their professional journeys, HMOs continued to represent the only truly economically viable housing option, especially in more expensive cities and towns. Moreover, the inherent flexibility that HMO tenancies frequently offer also proved to be increasingly attractive in an uncertain economic climate. With job security feeling less stable for many people were understandably hesitant to commit themselves to long, inflexible and often costly leases for more expensive, entirely self-contained properties. The pandemic did not just underscore the existing resilience of the HMO model, it also subtly yet significantly reshaped tenant expectations and their key priorities when searching for accommodation. There was, quite rightly and understandably, a greatly increased emphasis placed on demonstrable cleanliness, robust and consistently applied hygiene protocols, and evidence of diligent professional property management. Prospective tenants became far more discerning in their choices, actively seeking out landlords and management companies who clearly took their health, safety and overall well-being seriously. Features such as regular professional cleaning services for all communal areas, good natural and mechanical ventilation and clear, proactive communication regarding safety measures became more significant deciding factors than ever before, profoundly influencing tenants' choices. Once the initial, most restrictive phases of the nationwide lockdowns began to ease, the HMO sector did not merely recover lost ground. It experienced a quite significant and noticeable surge in demand from prospective tenants. This was not simply a gradual return to the pre-pandemic status quo. Rather, it represented a notable acceleration in interest for good quality shared living. A degree of pent-up demand was certainly a contributing factor, as individuals who had understandably delayed their moving decisions during the height of the public health crisis cautiously re-entered the rental market. Furthermore, many people took the extended period of reflection afforded by lockdown as an opportunity to thoroughly reassess their current living situations, often seeking better quality or more suitable housing arrangements. Crucially, this pronounced surge in demand was not evenly distributed across all types and standards of houses in multiple occupation. Instead, there was a distinct and discernible flight to quality observed within the market. Tenants increasingly prioritized and were willing to pay a premium for high-end, professionally managed and community-focused properties. The past willingness of some to accept substandard or poorly maintained conditions simply for the sake of securing cheaper rent appeared to be diminishing rapidly. People actively sought well-maintained homes, responsive and communicative landlords, and often a positive and supportive social environment, especially if emerging hybrid working patterns meant they would be spending more of their working week within the property itself. The available market data clearly and unequivocally supports this narrative of substantially increased demand meeting a relatively fixed supply. Official figures indicating a striking 12% average increase in HMO room rents right across the nation during the course of 2022 are particularly telling in this regard. This level of rental growth significantly outpaced the increases seen in the traditional, broader private rental market over the same 12-month period. Such a sharp and pronounced rise in average rents is a classic economic indicator of demand far outstripping the available supply, especially for the most desirable, well-appointed and professionally managed HMO rooms, underscoring the sector's renewed strength and its growing appeal to an increasingly discerning tenant base. This significantly heightened demand inevitably placed considerable pressure on the existing stock of good quality HMO accommodation throughout the United Kingdom. Landlords who had already made the wise decision to invest in maintaining high standards for their properties found that their rooms were in very high demand, often experiencing minimal, if any, void periods between tenancies. More broadly, this clear and unambiguous market signal acted as a powerful spur for further investment into the HMO sector. Astute and forward-thinking landlords, alongside specialist property developers, recognized the significant commercial opportunity, understanding that providing a superior HMO product would undoubtedly attract premium tenants and consequently yield strong and sustainable returns in this rapidly evolving market landscape. Faced squarely with this evolving market dynamic and the demonstrably heightened expectations of tenants in the post-pandemic landscape, proactive and responsible landlords, along with professional property management companies, clearly understood the critical and urgent need to adapt their service offerings and their day-to-day operational strategies. It was rapidly becoming apparent that it was no longer sufficient to merely provide a basic room for rent. A more comprehensive and holistic approach to tenant welfare, property standards, and overall living experience became absolutely imperative. This necessitated a careful and honest re-evaluation of many existing practices and, crucially, a genuine willingness to invest financially in tangible improvements that directly address the new priorities of safety, hygiene, and the quality of life within shared living spaces. This essential adaptation translated directly into significant and widespread material investment across the sector. The initial brief mentioned that many landlords and property managers are investing millions to upgrade and expand these properties, and this capital was channeled into a diverse variety of practical and visible upgrades. For instance, enhanced and more frequent cleaning schedules for all shared communal areas, often utilizing hospital-grade disinfectants and professional cleaning contractors, swiftly became a new industry standard. Substantial improvements to existing ventilation systems or the installation of new ones were prioritized to ensure better air quality throughout the properties. Landlords also increasingly invested in contactless solutions where feasible, such as smart lock entry systems or intuitive online maintenance reporting platforms, and comprehensively upgraded shared facilities like kitchens and bathrooms to ensure they were both modern in appearance and easy to keep hygienically clean. Quality and safety became the undisputed, non-negotiable top priorities for all responsible HMO providers who wished to remain competitive and attract the best tenants. This meant not only meticulously adhering to all existing local and national licensing requirements and stringent safety regulations, but in many cases, actively choosing to go above and beyond these baseline standards to provide tangible reassurance to tenants. regular and documented safety checks for gas, electricity and fire prevention systems, coupled with clear and accessible communication regarding emergency procedures and ensuring that all properties were well maintained and physically secure, were absolutely paramount. Some forward-thinking landlords also readily embraced technology to manage initial property viewings virtually, to streamline ongoing tenant communication, and to provide residents with more control and readily available information, thereby enhancing the overall professional feel of their service. Beyond simply upgrading their existing property portfolios, the demonstrably strong market conditions also encouraged the strategic expansion of high-quality HMO stock to meet the burgeoning demand. This often involved experienced landlords and developers actively sourcing suitable larger properties, perhaps former guest houses, small hotels or substantial family homes, and then carefully and thoughtfully converting them into well-designed, fully compliant and highly desirable shared homes. The overarching goal of this expansion was to increase the available supply of the specific type of high-standard accommodation that was so clearly in demand, properties that offered an excellent balance of comfortable private bedroom space, high-quality shared amenities and consistently professional responsive management, thereby contributing positively and significantly to the range of housing options available in key urban areas across the country. The profound and widespread uncertainty that was introduced into everyday life by the global pandemic served to further amplify the inherent value of flexibility, a core benefit that has long been offered by many houses in multiple occupation, with employment markets undergoing significant shifts and the rapid, widespread adoption of hybrid working models becoming commonplace for many professional roles. A growing number of individuals actively sought housing arrangements that did not rigidly lock them into long, inflexible, and often onerous contractual commitments. The readily available ability to choose shorter tenancy periods or to transition onto rolling monthly agreements after an initial fixed term provided a much-needed and highly valued sense of agility, allowing individuals to adapt their living situations more easily and with less financial penalty as their personal or professional circumstances continue to evolve in the rapidly changing post-COVID world. While initial, perhaps superficial thoughts might have painted any form of shared living as inherently less safe during a major public health crisis, the day-to-day reality within well-managed HMOs often proved to be considerably more nuanced and reassuring. In properties that housed a limited number of responsible tenants, where clear and mutually agreed house rules regarding hygiene practices and guest policies were consistently observed and where proactive communicative management was in place, a tangible sense of controlled safety could indeed be successfully established. For many tenants, knowing their housemates personally and trusting that shared health and safety protocols were being diligently followed could, paradoxically, feel more secure and supportive than living in large, anonymous apartment blocks that often had less direct oversight or a weaker sense of shared community responsibility for collective well-being. As society gradually transitioned into what many commentators and individuals began to term the new normal, houses in multiple occupation firmly solidified their place as a highly relevant and often actively preferred housing solution for a diverse range of people. The intrinsic human desire for community and social connection, which had been starkly highlighted for many by extended periods of enforced isolation during lockdowns, found a welcome and accessible outlet in well-chosen and harmonious shared houses. Furthermore, for those individuals fully embracing remote working or adopting flexible hybrid work patterns, a comfortable, spacious and well-equipped HMO could frequently offer a more supportive, engaging and less isolating daily environment than a small, solitary studio flat, providing distinct and separate zones for focused work, necessary rest, and welcome social interaction if desired. Ultimately, the challenging experience of the pandemic has had a lasting and, in many respects, largely positive transformative impact on the wider HMO sector in the United Kingdom. It effectively acted as an unexpected catalyst, significantly accelerating several pre-existing positive trends towards greater professionalization within the market, consistently higher standards of living for tenants, and a much stronger, more explicit focus on overall tenant well-being and satisfaction. Landlords and property operators who readily embraced these fundamental changes and invested accordingly generally thrived and saw strong demand for their properties. Conversely, those who failed to adapt to the new expectations found it increasingly difficult to attract and retain tenants. This significant market shift has, in the long run, clearly benefited renters, who now typically have access to a wider range of better quality, safer, and more thoughtfully managed shared housing options across the UK. Houses in multiple occupation, or HMOs, represent a really intelligent choice for landlords. They are known for offering a notably steady and reliable income stream. In the current economic climate, this kind of consistency is particularly appealing. Many property investors are actively seeking out opportunities that provide dependable financial returns. HMOs, when managed well, can deliver precisely this sought-after security for an investment portfolio. It all comes down to achieving consistent rental payments month in and month out. This characteristic makes forward financial planning considerably easier and more predictable for property owners. It's certainly a key factor contributing to their increasing popularity in the investment community today. One of the most compelling statistics for landlords is the impressively high occupancy rates typically seen in HMOs. Across the United Kingdom, these rates averaged over a remarkable 92% during 2023. This figure was highlighted earlier, and it really underscores the strong demand. High occupancy directly translates into fewer empty rooms, which is crucial for financial success. Consequently, landlords benefit from a more consistent and uninterrupted flow of rental income. Those troublesome void periods when a room sits empty can significantly impact overall profitability. HMOs, due to their shared nature and appeal, help to effectively minimize this particular financial risk for landlords. This is undoubtedly a substantial advantage for any discerning property investor. The fundamental financial model underpinning HMOs is also notably attractive from an investor's standpoint. Landlords receive their rental income on a monthly basis in Great British pounds, with several individual tenants contributing to the overall pot. The total rental yield generated from the property can often be considerably higher. It frequently surpasses what might be achieved from a traditional single-family let on an equivalent property. Of course, managing multiple tenancies does invariably require a bit more active involvement and careful organisation. However, the enhanced financial rewards often make this additional effort thoroughly worthwhile for many. Numerous investors find the prospect of increased net income a very persuasive argument for choosing this model. So, to summarise the landlord's viewpoint, HMOs offer a tangible sense of real financial security. They stand out as a prime investment choice, particularly for those astute investors who prioritize dependable and sustainable returns on their capital. It's also worth noting that the entire HMO sector is undergoing a significant professionalization. There are now many specialist letting agents and management companies who can expertly handle the day-to-day operational aspects. This invaluable support makes it much easier for landlords, even those with less direct experience, to invest with confidence. It's a genuinely solid and increasingly robust option within the broader UK property market, representing a growing area with very strong foundational appeal. It's not just landlords who benefit. Tenants find a multitude of advantages in choosing HMO living too. Affordability is, without a doubt, a very significant draw for a great many people. This factor plays a crucial role in making life in our vibrant yet often expensive cities much more financially accessible. This is especially pertinent when you consider the consistent rise in the general cost of living that impacts everyone. Young professionals, who are often at the beginning of their careers, particularly appreciate this crucial aspect of HMOs. It means they can afford to live in desirable, well-connected central locations. They can do so without the worry of their entire salary being consumed by high rental payments. It's a truly practical solution for navigating modern urban life. Flexibility is another major plus point that makes HMOs highly attractive to today's tenants. These properties frequently offer the option of shorter-term stays, which can be incredibly useful. Alternatively, Tenants can often find fixed lease periods that suit their specific circumstances and future plans. This inherent adaptability really suits our contemporary, often more mobile lifestyles. People tend to change jobs, relocate for new opportunities, or undertake project-based work more often now than in previous generations. Traditional long-term leases, which can tie you down for 12 months or more, can feel very restrictive in this context. HMOs provide a much more adaptable and responsive way to live, and this freedom is highly valued. Beyond the practicalities, HMOs can foster genuinely vibrant and friendly communities within the home. This provides a fantastic, often underestimated, social benefit for many residents. Living in a shared environment can really help to combat feelings of loneliness or isolation. This is particularly true if you're new to a large, unfamiliar city and don't yet have an established network. You get the wonderful opportunity to meet new people from various walks of life quite easily. Sharing common spaces and day-to-day experiences can often lead to the formation of strong and lasting friendships. For many, an HMO is far more than just a rented room. It becomes a supportive and sociable home environment. Convenience is also a key attraction that draws many tenants towards houses in multiple occupation. Very often the agreed monthly rent will include most, if not all, of the essential household bills. This thoughtful inclusion makes personal budgeting so much simpler and more predictable for residents. Furthermore, rooms within HMOs usually come fully furnished, which is another significant practical advantage. This means that the process of moving in and subsequently moving out is considerably easier and less stressful. There's no pressing need to purchase, transport, or assemble large, bulky items of furniture. It truly offers a plug-and-play style living solution, which is absolutely perfect for busy individuals who are often on the go. Section 3. Raising the bar innovation and quality in modern HMOs. The overall quality of accommodation found within the HMO sector is undeniably on an upward trajectory. We're witnessing a clear and consistent trend where standards are steadily rising right across the board. There has been a substantial wave of investment dedicated specifically to property refurbishments. As mentioned in the initial overview, hundreds of millions of pounds are being channeled nationwide into upgrading these shared homes. This significant financial commitment is actively helping to change any outdated negative perceptions that may have lingered about HMOs. Landlords increasingly recognize that providing good quality living spaces is essential for attracting and retaining good, responsible tenants. This is a very positive and welcome development for everyone involved in the sector. Smart home technology is rapidly becoming a much more common and expected feature in modern HMOs. Imagine convenient smart lighting systems installed in individual bedrooms and communal areas. Or consider sophisticated climate control systems that allow for the perfect ambient temperature throughout the property. Smart security features such as keyless entry or app-controlled alarms also offer residents enhanced peace of mind. These technological innovations add a tangible layer of real convenience to everyday living. They contribute significantly to making the shared living experience much more comfortable and streamlined. Tenants, especially younger professionals, really appreciate these thoughtful and contemporary touches as they demonstrate that landlords are proactively thinking ahead. Energy efficiency is also emerging as a prominent and growing focus within the HMO sector. Many newly developed or recently refurbished HMOs are now incorporating eco-friendly design principles from the outset. For example, properties might benefit from significantly improved levels of insulation to reduce heat loss. Or they may feature modern, energy-efficient appliances within the shared kitchen and laundry facilities. This conscious shift towards sustainability appeals strongly to the increasing number of environmentally aware tenants. Beyond the green credentials, improved energy efficiency can also lead to a welcome reduction in overall utility bills. This is clearly beneficial for tenants' monthly outgoings, and, just as importantly, it's much better for our planet too. The cumulative effect of these improvements means that the overall quality found in today's HMOs is now substantially higher. Indeed, some of the best appointed houses in multiple occupation are now drawing favorable comparisons to boutique hotels. This is a comparison that you hear mentioned with increasing frequency, and it vividly illustrates just how far the sector has progressed. These ongoing innovations and the clear commitment to higher standards are making HMOs an increasingly desirable and highly competitive housing option. The future certainly looks very bright for well-managed, high-quality shared homes. They are successfully evolving to meet and often exceed the diverse needs and high expectations of modern professional tenants seeking comfortable, convenient, and contemporary living spaces. Section 1. Navigating the rules. Council powers and HMOs. The operation of houses in multiple occupation is quite rightly subject to a set of important rules. These regulations are essential to ensure that every property is safe for its residents. They also help to make sure that HMOs are well managed and offer a decent standard of living. Local councils across the UK are given the important job of overseeing these rules. Their role isn't designed to unnecessarily hinder the market or make things difficult for good landlords. Instead, it's about protecting the welfare of tenants. It's also about maintaining a good balance within local communities where these shared homes are situated. This regulatory framework provides a vital foundation for upholding quality across the sector. Local councils have several specific powers they can use to manage HMOs effectively in their areas. One of the main tools is the implementation of various licensing schemes. For larger HMOs, typically those with 5 or more tenants forming more than one household, a mandatory license is a national requirement throughout England and Wales. However, councils also possess the authority to introduce additional licensing schemes. These can cover smaller HMOs in particular districts if the council believes there are specific problems that need addressing, such as poor management or low housing standards. These licensing conditions will usually specify minimum room sizes, the number of shared bathrooms and kitchens required, and crucial fire safety measures. Beyond the scope of these licensing requirements, local councils also wield significant planning powers. These powers are absolutely critical when it comes to deciding where new HMOs can be established or existing properties can be converted. Councils use their planning policies to carefully consider the potential impact of a high concentration of HMOs on local services. This could include things like parking availability, refuse collection capacity, or the character of a residential neighbourhood. Effective planning oversight is therefore a key instrument for local authorities. It allows them to strategically manage the housing mix within their jurisdiction and ensure balanced development. It is therefore absolutely paramount for both current and prospective landlords as well as property developers to be thoroughly aware of this multifaceted regulatory landscape. Claiming ignorance of these important rules is simply not a viable defense. Any failure to comply with licensing conditions or planning policies can lead to very serious consequences. These can include substantial financial penalties, legal action, or even a prohibition order preventing the property from being let as an HMO. Consequently, undertaking comprehensive research and detailed due diligence regarding all relevant local council policies is a fundamental and non-negotiable first step before investing in or operating any house in multiple occupation. Section 2, Article 4, Directives, Challenges and Catalysts for Quality. A significant regulatory tool that local councils can employ is known as an Article 4 directive. This is a specific piece of planning legislation that has a notable impact on HMO development. In simple terms, when a council introduces an Article 4 directive for a designated area, it removes certain permitted development rights. Previously, these rights allowed property owners to change the use of a dwelling house, which falls under Use Class C3, into a small shared house or flat, accommodating between 3 and 6 unrelated individuals, Use Class C4, without needing to apply for full planning permission. Councils typically implement these directives in areas where they wish to exercise greater control over the future growth of HMOs. The immediate effect of an Article 4 directive being in place is quite straightforward. Any landlord or developer wishing to create a new HMO within that designated zone must now submit a formal application for full planning permission. This planning process is considerably more detailed and rigorous than simply relying on permitted development rights. It can often be a lengthy procedure, sometimes taking several months to reach a decision, and there is no absolute guarantee that permission will ultimately be granted. This introduces an undeniable element of uncertainty and usually necessitates a more robust, professionally prepared application, often requiring input from planning consultants to navigate the complexities effectively. Many see this as a considerable hurdle. Councils provide several key reasons for deciding to implement Article 4 directions. A primary concern is often the desire to prevent an over-concentration of HMOs within particular streets or specific neighborhoods. When too many shared houses are located very close together, it can sometimes place a noticeable strain on local infrastructure. This might manifest as increased competition for on-street parking spaces, greater demand on waste collection services, or even subtle changes to the social fabric and demographic balance of the community. Therefore, Article 4 is seen by councils as a crucial instrument for managing housing density and maintaining the existing character of established residential areas. However, it's also very important to view Article 4 directives not solely as restrictive measures. As the initial brief for this essay pointed out, while some undoubtedly see them as hurdles, they can also act as powerful catalysts for promoting higher quality development within the HMO sector. The mandatory requirement to obtain full planning permission means that any new proposals are subjected to much closer and more detailed scrutiny by council planning officers. Developers are therefore compelled to present a much stronger and more persuasive case for their proposed HMO. They often need to clearly demonstrate how their property will be exceptionally well managed, provide excellent quality accommodation for future tenants, and make a positive contribution to the local area without causing undue negative impact. This process can effectively filter out less serious or speculative developers, favoring those with a genuine commitment to quality. Section 3. Building bridges, councils, standards and responsible investment. It is important to understand the proactive and often positive role that local councils can play in the HMO sector. While regulatory instruments like Article 4 directives represent one aspect of their involvement, it's crucial to recognize that many local authorities are not inherently opposed to the concept of houses in multiple occupation. Far from it, they generally acknowledge the absolutely vital role that well-managed shared housing plays in meeting a diverse range of housing needs across their communities. This is particularly true for accommodating young professionals, students, essential key workers, and others who require affordable and flexible living solutions. The primary concern for most councils usually centers on the standard and management of these properties, rather than their existence per se. Councils are, in fact, actively working to uphold and, where necessary, improve the prevailing standards right across the entire HMO sector within their localities. This involves more than just setting rules. It requires diligent and consistent enforcement of all relevant licensing conditions. It also means conducting regular property inspections to ensure ongoing compliance with safety regulations and responding effectively and in a timely manner to any legitimate complaints that may be raised by tenants or concerned local residents. This continuous oversight and proactive engagement are essential. They help to ensure that HMOs consistently provide safe, habitable and responsibly managed living environments, benefiting both the occupants and the wider neighbourhood in which they are situated. Furthermore, it's encouraging to note that many councils are increasingly keen to actively promote and encourage responsible investment in high-quality HMOs. They genuinely want to see well-designed, professionally managed shared houses that integrate positively and harmoniously into the local community fabric. They also recognize that such properties make a valuable contribution to a balanced and diverse housing stock, offering much-needed choice for renters. This means that councils are often very open to constructive dialogue and collaboration with landlords and developers. This is especially true for those who can clearly demonstrate a genuine and long-term commitment to providing excellent standards of accommodation and adhering to established best practices in property management. To foster this positive approach, some councils are exploring ways to incentivize or support good landlords. This support might take various forms. For instance, providing clear, accessible guidance documents and offering pre-application advice services can help to streamline the often complex planning and licensing processes. Some local authorities have introduced accreditation schemes that publicly recognize and endorse reputable HMO providers who meet certain enhanced standards. Others might promote best practice through landlord forums, workshops, or even local awards schemes. The overarching aim is to cultivate a more collaborative environment, where councils and responsible landlords can work together constructively. This partnership ensures that HMOs continue to be a positive, sustainable, and high-quality part of the UK's evolving housing solution. Section 1. Recapping the journey of HMOs, a sector reimagined. We began this exploration by observing the significant shift in the UK's urban housing market. Houses in multiple occupation, once viewed with some apprehension, have truly made a comeback. They are now recognised as an essential part of the housing solution, especially in our dynamic major cities like London, Manchester and Birmingham. Their resilience, particularly noted during recent challenging times, has been quite remarkable to witness. This resurgence clearly reflects a broader change in how we approach urban living today. HMOs are increasingly stepping up to meet a diverse range of modern needs. The journey of the HMO sector has been one of impressive transformation and growing relevance. A key theme throughout our discussion has been the growing importance of HMOs for working professionals. We learned that a substantial percentage of tenants choosing this type of accommodation are indeed from this demographic. These individuals span various important industries, from finance and tech to healthcare and the creative arts. The primary drivers for this choice are abundantly clear. Affordability in an era of high living costs is a major factor. Equally important is the practical flexibility that HMOs consistently offer to their residents. Shorter tenancy agreements and often inclusive bills provide a very sensible alternative to traditional renting arrangements, which can be far more restrictive. The period immediately following the COVID-19 pandemic presented some quite unexpected outcomes for the HMO market. Instead of the widely predicted decline in interest, we actually witnessed a considerable boom in demand for shared living. This surge was particularly evident for high-quality, professionally managed properties that placed a strong emphasis on creating a sense of community and ensuring tenant safety. Landlords responded to this shift very proactively, investing significantly to upgrade their existing properties and improve standards. Millions of pounds were channeled into refurbishments, further enhancing the quality of accommodation and ensuring that tenant well-being remained a top priority across the board. Throughout our discussion, the clear and tangible benefits for both landlords and tenants have been consistently highlighted. For landlords, houses in multiple occupation offer the very attractive promise of stable, reliable income streams and impressively high occupancy rates, making them a secure and sensible investment choice. For tenants, beyond the crucial aspects of affordability and flexibility, the appeal increasingly lies in the improved quality of life and the vibrant communities these homes can foster. We have seen some truly impressive innovation, with smart home technology and energy-efficient features becoming much more prevalent. The regulatory environment, including measures like Article 4 directives, also plays a vital role. Section 2. Charting the future opportunities and aspirations in shared living. Looking towards the next 5 to 10 years, it is clear that tenant expectations for houses in multiple occupation will continue to evolve quite significantly. The already strong demand for superior quality accommodation, seamless technology integration, and genuine sustainability features will undoubtedly grow even stronger. Tenants will increasingly seek out innovative features that expertly blend enhanced comfort with ultimate everyday convenience. Smart home systems, for instance, controlling aspects such as lighting, security, and room climate, will likely become standard expectations for many, rather than just desirable optional extras. Furthermore, thoughtfully designed multi-use communal spaces, dedicated wellness zones, and professional remote working areas will be highly prized. Sustainability is certainly set to become an even more critical driver in tenant choice and overall property development strategies. We anticipate that eco-conscious design principles will be right at the forefront of new HMO projects and any major refurbishment programs. Features such as energy-efficient appliances throughout the property, a genuinely reduced carbon footprint for the building, and perhaps even visible elements like green rooftops or convenient shared electric vehicle charging points will appeal deeply to the growing numbers of environmentally aware tenants. On the management side of things, landlords will undoubtedly need to embrace more flexible leasing models. They will also need to utilize sophisticated digital platforms to enhance the overall tenant experience. For landlords and investors, navigating this dynamic future successfully means maintaining a steadfast and unwavering focus on upholding premium quality standards in every aspect of their properties. Embracing smart technology will become less of an option and more of a fundamental necessity to effectively meet and indeed exceed evolving tenant demands. The active creation of vibrant, genuinely sustainable communities within these properties will also be absolutely key to long-term success. This is particularly true in those prime urban centres like London, Birmingham and Manchester, where the demand for high-quality shared living consistently remains very high. The HMO sector is clearly evolving into a highly flexible and innovative ecosystem. In conclusion, the future trajectory for houses in multiple occupation right across the United Kingdom appears to be exceptionally bright and full of potential. This highly positive outlook is firmly underpinned by sustained high levels of demand from tenants, ongoing innovation in both property design and operational management, and a clear, growing commitment to responsible and ethical practices throughout the sector. As the sector continues its inevitable expansion and maturation, it will undoubtedly be those responsible landlords who proactively choose to invest in superior quality, unwavering safety standards, and the active fostering of a genuine community spirit who will reap the greatest and most sustainable rewards. HMOs are therefore much more than just a temporary housing solution. They are rapidly becoming an integral and sustainable part of Britain's evolving urban future.